Homer came up with a new way to use a power rack, and his strange training technique immediately drew the attention of a huge guy. Homer was stunned when he realized the man was Yujiro. A famous fitness star, Yujiro couldn't understand why a total beginner would show up to work out like this. It turned out that days earlier, during a parent-child sports event at school, Homer's weight left him exhausted, and he was humiliated when Bart's classmates easily outran him. Determined to lose the more than 300 pounds on his body, Homer made up his mind to change. Even though they had just met, Yujiro stepped in right away to help a father chasing a better version of himself. After 2 months, Homer transformed completely under Yujiro's coaching. One morning, he showed off his muscles at home for the first time, leaving his family stunned and barely able to believe what they were seeing. Homer explained that he had been secretly training at night just to surprise them.
Oh my goodness gracious!
But his changes weren't only physical, his mindset shifted too. He quit regular meals and only ate energy bars for fuel. He even mocked Marge and the others for eating junk food. His comments made everyone furious, yet Homer didn't realize why. He kept bragging about his diet secret, insisting that if you compress food into the shape of an energy bar and make it super concentrated, it releases more power in your stomach.
Hospital, please.
The next day at the gym, Yujiro was surrounded by advertisers begging him to endorse their products, but he had his own principles and refused to make dirty money. Bart happened to witness this and tricked the advertisers into coming to Homer instead. After some thought, they agreed, but only on one condition. Homer had to complete the ad himself by climbing the tallest mountain in Springfield and planting their flag at the summit. Homer stood up, walked to the window, and stared at the huge mountain in silence.
No, that's it over there. Yeah, that's it. Just to the right of the one you're looking at.
He turned to look at Bart in disbelief, thinking what a great son he had, but Bart had already taken the payment, so backing out wasn't an option. Homer rushed home, packed his climbing gear, and prepared to challenge Springfield's highest peak. Just then, Abe arrived in a panic, warning his son never to climb that mountain. When Abe was young, he once tried to climb the tallest peak in Springfield, but just as he was about to reach the top, his partner stole his backpack, and Abe fell off the mountain. He somehow survived, but the partner who pushed him disappeared and was never seen again. Homer complained that Abe should have said something earlier, because he was heading up the mountain that afternoon. Before the climb, the staff even arranged 2 guides to lead Homer. 2 days later, after finishing his 14th tank of oxygen, Homer pulled out the 15th.
Dad, shouldn't you save a couple bottles for when you're a little higher?
During breaks, he called Bart, and Bart kept an eye on everything Homer did. The 2 guides had promised the sponsor that they would make sure Homer reached the summit. So once Homer fell asleep, they began their plan. When he opened his eyes again, he realized he had already been moved halfway up the mountain. Meanwhile, the sponsors were promoting hard, claiming that after eating their energy bar, Homer climbed straight to the midpoint in one go. The next night, the guides stuck to their routine, but this time, something went wrong, and the freezing cold woke Homer up.
Hey, you guys are dragging me up the mountain!
Brad and Neil were quite insistent you not die.
Frankly, we don't care.
He didn't want to keep going like this. His son was watching from below, after all. He even fired the 2 guides on the spot. He believed he could reach the top on his own, especially since his backpack was full of the sponsor's energy bars. The staff panicked because they knew their bars had 0 energy in them. But Homer refused to quit halfway and shut off the walkie-talkie. The sponsor had no choice but to announce that Homer ignored warnings and that anything he did from this point on had nothing to do with the company Bart worried about his dad. But Marge trusted Homer. At that moment, Homer was pushing toward the summit. With courage and confidence, he kept a steady pace and climbed higher and higher. Soon he even saw what looked like a stairway to heaven. And seeing a stairway to heaven usually means you're getting a little too close to God. To make things worse, the only walkie-talkie he had was carried off by a goat. So Homer had only one choice left: go all the way up. Relying on pure willpower, he finally reached what he thought was the peak. But when he tried to relax, he realized it was only a gentle slope, still far from the real summit. Homer gave up, yet he couldn't climb down either. Luckily, there was a cave nearby where he could hide for a while. Inside, he ran into the teammate Abe had mentioned. In the man's climbing diary, he wrote that he ended up trapped because Abe had stolen his oxygen tank. That was nothing like the story Abe had told. Homer realized he would probably share the same fate and stay trapped here forever. So he decided to leave the Simpson name behind, something for Bart to know. But when he stuck the flag into the ground, it triggered an avalanche that sent him straight to the real summit. Once he finally reached the top, Homer wanted nothing more than to go home. He grabbed a sled, don't ask where he got it, and rode it all the way down the mountain.
Where in the world did you find a sled on top of the... Ah!
Okay, here's what I think happened.
The first thing he did after reaching the bottom was brag to Bart. But the flag he had made was gone, leaving only the pole. Even without proof, Bart chose to believe that his dad really did make it to the top.